The first
Yes.
few years of life psychic inheritance. When a child is born, its breath form contains the rudimentary psychic destiny to be experienced during life. This psychic destiny is held in germ, ready to grow as soon as season and conditions are propitious.
Hmm.
The conditions and the season for the development of the psychic destiny are brought about by the growth, maturity, and aging of the physical body in conjunction with the mental attitude of the doer connected with that body.
The
The destiny to
conditions
be
and seasons for development of the psychic destiny. Oh, so if you have heard B.K. Shivani in
Mhm.
one of the YouTube sessions, she talks
Yeah, I
about
heard yesterday some
astrology.
place.
No, she talks about astrology.
Oh, that I didn't
Okay.
know. I mean, yesterday I heard one.
Ah, no, she says that, okay, Kali Yuga is coming to an end, in
And
effect.
also the food they
Yeah.
don't eat out. Yeah.
So, if this psychic destiny is visible, she talks about astrology being correct only to demonstrate the
Mm.
scenario at the time of birth, nothing beyond.
What is that? The scenario, only the scenario?
The
Correct. If it is,
scene of life at the time of birth.
uh,
So that
theme
means
of,
astrology is a reflection of the pre-birth plan.
oh, okay.
Okay. And what he is talking about is the first few years of psychic of life is psychic inheritance. So that means there is some connection between what you experience as a child and the psychic uh, role or karma that you have inherited.
Because whatever the previous birth plan, it is in a psychic destiny embedded as a in the germ. As
Exactly, exactly.
it
And
grows,
yeah,
the child grows,
correct.
it matures. The conditions and the season for the development of the psychic destiny are brought about by the growth, maturity, and aging of the physical body in conjunction with the mental attitude of the doer connected with that body. The destiny to be experienced in adult life is distant while the body remains that of a child.
Okay.
It is distant while the body remains that of a child.
Hmm.
Destiny to be experienced in adult
As the
life
body develops,
develops. The conditions are furnished by which the old desire seeds take root and grow. Correct, because that's what everybody, yeah. Because that past karma, what past
yeah.
desires and feelings, they come back and they will, yeah,
In
affect.
other words, destiny is nothing but your pre-birth plan here.
Correct.
What you will be undergoing during the
Yes, yes,
course of your existence.
correct. The growth is retarded or
Accelerated.
continued or changed according to the manner in which the doer thinks about these conditions.
So, this is the missing bit that the astrologer will not be able to predict. That
Because,
is,
yeah,
after the change management the portion, they will not be able to predict.
because of the free will, the doer can change
Yeah, exactly.
at
Exactly.
any time. The first few years of life, up to about 7, the soon pass out of the memory of most people. So, first 7 years, they have all the memories of the past and then they forget. These
Correct.
years are spent in adapting the physical body to its breath form through the astral body.
Hmm.
So although forgotten, they are among the most important in the life of a human being.
Correct.
What they are among means the past
The memories,
memories, past
and the
memories.
years, both.
As a tree is shaped, trained, and pruned by the gardener, so the desires, appetites, and psychic proclivities impressed on the breath form are encouraged, restrained, or changed by parents and teachers. The child has fits of temper, meanness, and viciousness, which are curbed by the parent or teacher who protects the young from noxious influences. So, parents influence, the training
But
care or
basically, you are altering the original pattern of that individual.
yeah, and the teacher and parents have that influence. The
Correct.
training care or abuse of the psychic nature, which are experienced in early life, or the direct inheritance of the doer. The surroundings furnished with their psychic influences, the vicious or pure minded temperament of those to whom a child is entrusted, and the manner in which its wants, desires, and needs are treated are just returns for its past thinking. Yeah,
So these are what is surrounding the individual.
correct.
Mm.
While desire is usually attracted by a like desire, and a doer seeking re existence is guided to those parents who have similar desires, yet, owing to the interblending of the different kinds of destiny, a doer is often connected with those whose desires and thoughts are different. Of course, see, similar, I agree. A doer is often connected with those whose desires and thoughts are different.
So that's quite
Interblending.
likely. No. See, if you and me are connected pertaining to, let us say, the book club,
Correct.
we are so different in the rest of the patterns of our daily execution, right? So
Yes.
there is something that is common, there is something that is unique. So
Okay.
he is highlighting that point.
So that's what he's meant, interblending of different kinds of. Okay.
Exactly, because your learnings
From each
are
other.
unique to you from various perspectives. Mine are going to be unique. But then there is a
Correct.
common ground. That common ground gives it the right to get the maximum points, say that, okay, this is a suitable parent for me to progress with. And
Yeah.
the souls of the parent also, that is how the soul contracts are drawn, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever matches, the soul chooses that family.
Correct.
I
Correct.
guess
The
the
stronger the
difference is
character.
also the lessons we have to learn from each other, part of the soul contact.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
No,
We
soul contract, that Ratnagaru, that is the basis on which the soul contracts are drawn.
Yeah, the clearly was telling about the differences, right? There are some
Correct.
common qualities that
Exactly.
we
Yes.
acquire from
Yes.
parents, but at the same
Yes.
time, we also have to learn from each other. So which manifest as a
Exactly. Correct.
yeah.
The stronger the character, the better and more readily will the doer overcome any evil psychic tendencies acquired in early life. Oh, the stronger the character, the better and more readily will the doer overcome any evil and psychic tendencies acquired in early life. But as there are comparatively few strong characters, the early psychic training generally gives directions to the entire life. A parent or guardian who is vapid, what is vapid?
We need to check.
And also he says baubles. I don't know. I never heard that. Baubles.
without any intelligence or interest. That means without any, what you call, previous impression.
Oh,
If someone is vapid, if you describe someone or something as vapid, you are critical of them because they are dull and uninteresting, disapproval. We idolize vapid celebrities. She made a vapid comment about the weather. Dull, boring. Okay,
uninteresting.
correct. And the other one,
Okay. Yeah, a parent or guardian who is vapid,
baubles,
who loves the
who
glitter of
ponders. Yeah.
yeah. So, who panders to the appetites and seeks sensation will instill similar inclinations into the growing child and stimulates its desire to a wild, luxuriant
Luxuriant growth.
growth. This is the fate of those who in the past have not cared for restrain their desires. The child
Hmm.
who is allowed to bawl and
And
fret
fret.
in the state of others, and whose parents allow it to have whatever it cries for, is one of those unfortunates who live on the surface of life.
Hmm.
These
I
are
mean, they end up being arrogant, right?
yes,
Hmm.
because they get whatever they want, and
Exactly.
yeah, these are the barbarians of society who, however numerous they may be at present, will, as humanity grows out of its child state, be fewer and will be considered wild specimens of an undeveloped tribe.
Hmm.
This is a troublesome destiny, as they must awaken to a knowledge of their own ignorance and taint before they can so adjust themselves as to become orderly, inconspicuous members of civilized society. The
Hmm.
encouragement or restraint of its emotional nature, which a child receives, is either the return for its past treatment of others or an opportunity to learn control of its feelings and desires. A
Hmm.
child who gives evidence of talents, but who, owing to the circumstances such as the disapproval of its parents, is discouraged from developing them, may find this not a misfortune but a benefit. If certain other tendencies are present, like a desire for narcotics or drink, for the artistic temperament, if allowed to express itself, then it would make the psychic nature more susceptible, would encourage drunkenness, and would injure the astral body by opening it to vagabonds in the astral states. So,
Hmm.
so drinking also it injures the astral body.
No, basically, you are changing the expression, and that is going to have its own repercussion. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. So by suppressing his desires, he goes
See,
into
if
that.
it is a detrimental character, you are learning how to manage it in the righteous path.
Correct. If
Correct.
not, the other way.
It's not the other.
Correct. Not to allow artistic training in such a case will only defer this development and help the child to resist more easily the demon of
Hmm.
intoxication. At the same
Correct.
time, parents who either through lack of means or without apparent reason offer opposition to a child's psychic inclinations often furnish such opposition in payment of an old score or because the doer did not make use of the opportunities which it had before. Those who encourage its appetites or who aid to develop its cunning or its wish for that which does not belong to it, or who do not discountenance in its tendency to self-indulgence, laziness, or greed, are made to offer such conditions as the natural psychic inheritance of the child's past.
Hmm.
So some people, even if the parents provide, if they do not become, whatever they are supposed to, that is because of their past inheritance.
Correct. No, I mean, see, though he is calling it past inheritance, the natural
Mm.
psychic inheritance of the child's past.
Yeah.
That is the basis on which the contract has been signed.
Yeah, correct. But the thing is, in case if he has some freedom and from free will and strong will to change, he can change.
True. Those who encourage its appetites or who did not, who aid to develop its cunning or its wish, okay, for that which does not belong to it, or who do not discountenance its tendency to self-indulgence, laziness, or greed are made to offer. Okay, okay, take it.
With these conditions, the child should work in the present in order to overcome and control them.
Again, this goes back to our triangle of lessons,
Learn.
talents, and goals. Here also he is
Mediumship.
dealing with mediumship.
Mediumship, materialization, seances.
Yeah.
Peculiar phases of form destiny and psychic destiny are furnished by persons in whom astral senses are developed prematurely or improperly, as in cases of mediumship, clairvoyance, and the practice of certain breathing exercises. And on the other hand, by those who are endowed with personal magnetism as a result of right living. It is dangerous to develop away from the physical towards the ethereal, which is the solid state of the form plane. One needs a gross or solid physical body to be on the physical plane and to protect his fluid solid, airy solid, and radiant solid bodies from the forces which are concentrated in the solid state. When lust, anger, vanity, envy, and greed are controlled according to the dictates of the reasons and morals, the physical body is able to withstand inimical forces of the finer states of the physical plane. That is the interfering forces, what we call in as an immortal doer now comes to life in the solid state of the physical plane and becomes aware of it. So the doer will at some time becomes conscious in and aware of the finer, the fluid, airy, and radiant states of the physical plane. As an immortal doer now comes to life in the solid state. That means when he is aware of his real self.
Correct.
So the doer will at some time becomes conscious in and aware of the finer fluid, airy,
Connect
radiant
this
states.
with the true desires.
True desires.
In unified meditation, connect this with the true desires.
Correct. That is the higher purposes.
Correct.
To do this with safety, the doer must become alive to these finer states in the regular course of development and without leaving the fourfold physical body.
That is this, without leaving the fourfold physical body is the protection that you are incurring there. You are saying that I'm protecting my aura against all.
Correct. So to become alive to these finer states in the regular course of development and without leaving the, when you are in the physical body to protect from all these finer states.
Correct.
Correct. Since the finer bodies are masses develop as the solid physical grows, any attempt to give them special attention and to develop them is not only injurious to the solid physical body, but calls upon the finer bodies to do more than they ought. So that means he's saying, in case if you go and want to develop the aura, by force or something like that, it's not good. Let it develop,
See, that is where from serpentizing, what did we learn? that fellow became, all his energy started acting up. At the age of 14, his body was not ready.
Correct. He was, yeah, he was very mentally disturbed and he didn't know what was going on, but somehow he molded himself in the right direction.
Correct.
Uh, but in case if the person is not able to, then bad things will happen. Like
Exactly. See, you cannot control that. Say, for example, recently a parent had written to me saying, "Sir, there is this organization in India which is helping children develop their third eye, open up their
correct.
third eye.
Yeah, because
Can I go and join them?"
yeah, Ramchandra Mission, they train the kids to read some article with closing the eyes into, I saw on the stage.
I said,
Yeah,
no, don't do it. Because if the body is not ready to accept that level of energies, you would have ended up damaging the child's future completely.
but these are kids above 7 to 13, 5 to 13.
No,
They take,
this is less than 15.
yeah. I
Okay.
heard,
Now, they didn't refer to which institute, because when they were about to do that, I said, I'm not interested in knowing.
This Ramchandra Mission, they, in that they train some kids. And somebody approached me because I used to do meditation before. Um, and then, but I asked my daughter, she said she didn't send her kids. But
No, it is not right. It is not right. How do you know? Are you clairvoyantly selecting the candidates?
I don't know that how they train it. I don't have any
No,
idea.
how they select also. If the individual is not ready,
Yeah.
this is the reason, the next point.
And also,
Until the
sir, don't you think if the third eye opens, students will not, exams and all, they can, I don't know how that works actually.
No, see,
How their
that is
day-to-day
all
they will not
our
put their hard work and
imagination.
all that.
No,
Yeah.
that is all our imagination. But if the body is not able to withstand those high energies and high vibrations, right, you will impact the body.
Yeah.
Until
But
the
usually,
feelings and desires,
I mean,
Sureka's husband is very
young,
devotee of Ramchandra Mission.
yeah, he follows Sajamark. But
no, you call it sadhana, but
doesn't matter.
what
I
if
think
the
whichever.
individual is not ready? What
Sir,
if
I
your
think
body is not ready to withstand? What will happen?
that's also true. But another way why young generation are, at least I don't know how many people are coming into that level of thinking. At least
That is
only
out of
reason I can think about is manifestation and know about the kids will be getting attracted to know about their future or whatever. However, the third eye they want to use it. The application of it, I'm thinking they'll be more interested than thinking about the
you are
consequences.
thinking. Now you have to think about the consequences, no?
Yeah, they will not explain the consequences of it, right?
One more thing is, nowadays the kids are much more
They
smarter
will
than
not give the consequences. They only say about the advantages of it. That's
See,
it.
that is why, because they were not clear, they approached us saying, can we do it? Okay. If they were very clear, they would have done it.
Yeah.
We don't know how things would have turned.
Right.
Yeah.
Until the feelings and desires are mastered, any attempt to force an entrance into the finer states of the physical plane is almost certain to end in control and obsession in that life, followed by a similar fate in the next. Oh, followed by a similar fate in the next also.
Correct.
One phase of psychic destiny is mediumship. The difference in degrees and development of mediums are many, but generally speaking, there are two kinds. One is the medium whose feelings and desires are under his control, whose astral body and breath form are trained, and whose doer remains conscious and in control of the body, while that body reports the impressions which the doer would have it receive. What is this? One is the medium whose feelings and desires are under his control, okay, whose astral body and breath form are trained, and whose doer remains conscious and in control of the body, while that body reports the impressions which the doer would have it received. Can you explain,
No,
Andy? Ante,
no,
is this
no.
mediumship?
No. See, suppose I am a past life regression specialist. Okay.
Therapist.
Now, I am
Mm.
I am seeing what you are seeing as far as your impressions are concerned. You are experiencing them, I am also seeing them.
That means my
So,
experiences you're also
I am
seeing.
having the ability to withstand your vibrations of that.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it. Mm.
Okay. Now, therefore, I am able to provide you guidance. I am a third eye master, let us say.
So that is what he says, trained.
Correct. So,
Okay.
one whose feelings and desires are under his control,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. In control of the
Whose
body.
astral
Yeah.
body and breath form are trained and whose doer remains conscious and in control of the body, while that body reports the impressions which the doer would have it receive. Even though it receives, he is conscious. So he is not influenced by what he is receiving.
Oh, okay. Got it.
The second
Okay.
kind.
I
Yeah,
have
the
one
second
question here,
Yeah.
Chandra sir. The previous one actually we were talking about kids learning to use their psychic are getting trained to use their psychic abilities to read without seeing. Okay, so which we are saying as per the like which is not good practice because they're not ready for that type of their body or mind is not ready for that type of practices. But that technique can be helpful to the blind, kids who born blind. So is that okay in that case or not?
No. See, we don't know whether the child is ready to withstand those energies. Okay. Now, you are taking you're shifting one scenario, correct? That means the child is blind.
Okay.
Okay, now let us say the child attempts.
Yes.
Okay. But the child is not able to take it. It is immediately going to show those signs.
Yes.
The moment you notice those signs, you should stop it. Don't force the child.
Whether
I
the
think
child is blind or not.
No,
they always check for that. See,
you are talking about Ramakrishna mission. This was not Ramakrishna mission.
No, Ramachandra.
I mean, Ramachandra mission also another mission basically.
This is heartfulness Dajis. Heartfulness meditation.
I know. Right, because I've been to that Tapovan also.
Not Tapovan.
No, Hyderabad, that Kanha village.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I spent 1 week there, part of some other discussion we were attending, 4-day discussion.
So you're saying, irrespective of the physical ability for a kid to see or not, when the kid undergoes through the training, if they whoever the trainer sees the adverse effects of it, they should stop it.
Yes. Because you are trying to alter. If the body is ready, then that opportunity would have come to them. But in the case of those who approached me, they were themselves, even though they were meditators, they had a desire to get it open for a child who is not at that age at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the second
The
kind
side
of
effects.
yeah. Pardon?
Uh,
Now
Yes,
you can say
Vika?
like the side effects of the process
Yeah.
would be very harmful,
No, they would be disastrous.
disastrous. That's what.
They
It
would
may
be
be good in
disastrous.
one way,
Or
but
if you are not
other
ready, you're gone. It's a complete breakdown. The second kind.
yeah. The second kind abandons the body to outside controlling entities and is ignorant of what is done with it while the human is in the mediumistic state and under the control of spooks or elementals. So some other entity will take over this mediumship
Exactly.
body.
See,
Dangerous.
there are many souls which are in our environment which have not been able to, for whatever reason, right? They have not been able to complete their expectations and requirements.
Correct. So that is why, in case, the mediumship, unless they are confident, they're they know what they're doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very, very well trained. Mediums of the first kind are few and not likely to be known to the world. So he's saying they are very few. They're not known to the world, likely not to be known. The second kind is becoming more numerous because of influences of discarnate beings to lead the human race into ancestor worship. Mediums radiate a peculiar and subtler odor in their physical atmosphere as a flower emits a perfume which attracts insects. So elementals, spooks, shells, dwellers, and vampires seek the physical atmosphere of a medium and through his body as a channel to reach the physical plane in order to satisfy themselves. So these are the spooky mediums.
Exactly.
Such a medium is one who has in the past or in the present life desired the inner use of his senses, principally sight and hearing. So, principally, they use the sight and hearing, it seems. Such a medium is the one who has in the past or in the present life desired the inner use of his senses, principally sight and hearing. Nearly every medium thinks that he is specially favored by the spirits who tell him that he, the medium, has some special and important mission in the world. One who desires to develop mediumship frequents seance rooms and desires apparitions, or sitting in the dark in a negative condition, waits for impressions, the appearance of colored lights or spectral forms, or he gazes at a bright spot so as to become negative and unconscious in order to induce control. He may sit as one of a circle where all desires communication of some kind with the spirit world, or he may use a planchette, I don't know what it is, Oja board.
Oja board.
Yeah, Oja board to get into such communication, or hold a pencil and yarn to have something
And
pushing.
Ian, not yarn, Ian. A desire.
Yeah, to get something, to push it. He may gaze into a crystal to throw the visions into focus with astral pictures. So these are the ways people want to communicate with them.
Exactly.
Or he may take narcotics to have his nerves affected and put in touch with radiant solid or astral state of the physical plane. The psychic destiny of all who trespass upon this state is the same whether these practices are followed or whether one chooses to be hypnotized and so forced into the astral state by the will of another. They become slaves of irresponsible beings of that state.
That is where the risk comes from.
Yeah, slaves of irresponsible beings. The known history of some of those who kept open house for unknown beings, which have then obsessed and controlled them, should be a lesson to others who want to be the mediums and to all those who desire to develop their senses astrally. Because some people, they say, what is that? Writing,
Correct.
auto writing.
Auto writing.
Yeah.
Then
It is
someone
hardly possible.
else says the skill pertaining to what is that? Light light workers language.
Oh, yeah. Light language. But light language, some people already, it certain after between fourth and fifth, we read in that light body book, when the ascension, people get after fourth
When you are
dimension.
able to read the sacred geometry, basically.
Yeah, correct. It is hardly possible for 1 in 1,000 to escape the clutches of the inimical creatures which are likely to obsess and unprotected on the form plane or on the astral plane.
So that is why we are doing our protection of the self.
Yeah.
The aura. Yeah.
Yeah. From the unintended influences. Yeah. At seances, public or private, there may be present elementals of the 4 elements or mere astral forms or, I don't know, wraiths of dead men and desire ghosts of dead men called spooks, shells, monsters, cloaks of wise or elementaries, which may be either feeble and
Innocuous
or strong and malignant. Desire ghosts of still living men may be there too, but this happens rarely. Desire ghosts. All these entities crave sensation through the activities of living beings. They want to bathe in and absorb the feelings and force of the living, which they cannot do in their own state, but only through a human body. The desired ghosts of living men want more power to add to their own. If the mortal nature of the medium is strong, the unseen entities that may enter are either of a better class or are too cunning to oppose at once his moral standards. As the astral body of the medium is used by these entities, it loses its force and its power of resistance until there is no opposition to the controlling influence, which is seldom the same for any length of time. When the astral counterparts of organs are
These are
weakened,
all the unwanted influences that we,
unwanted influences, they take over if the body is weak of some people.
correct.
When the astral counterparts of organs are weakened and broken down, the entities which have used them discard the medium's body for other bodies furnished by new persons longing to be mediums. So they leave once this medium is sick. They go and attack somebody.
Because they are not able to get their desires met. Yeah.
So that even if a medium is at first controlled by an entity which seems above the usual inane beings, which are called controls, this entity will discard the medium when he is run down. Then creatures of still lower orders will in turn obsess the medium. Finally, there is a sorry spectacle of a human ridden by creatures less than a human, which goad him in various directions, as a monkey astride a pig. A pig will bite and drive it. The medium and the control both desire sensation and both get it. The entities that come from the other side of death are exceptions to the multitude of doers who have passed on. Death is followed by a coma from which some doers do not recover for a long time. After the coma,
so this particular thing that he is highlighting here is your cleansing phase before you are allowed to enter into the next realm of existence.
The 12,
Yeah.
in the circle.
Correct.
Death is followed by a coma from which some doers do not recover for a long time. After the coma, some dream and some live over events of the past life. Oh. After the coma, some dream and some live over events of the past life, but all awaken at some time, become conscious that they have passed through death, and after a time they are judged. Then they go through purifications and then into a state called heaven or rest. So that is the cycle. That is 5D. Yeah.
Correct.
While they are being judged and while they are being purified, they cannot return to earth. But before their judgment, some of them may, on rare occasions, return to the radiant solid state of the physical plane. So this is all happens before they go to that heaven period.
Correct.
Sometimes, if the departed doer dreams of one of those present, it may drift into the physical atmosphere of the medium. So sometimes, if the departed doer dreams of one of those present on the earth, it may drift into the physical atmosphere of the medium. But then its whisperings and breathings will be the only vaporings of the dreamer. After waking from the dream and before going to its judgment, the departed doer may, on rare occasions, come or be drawn into the physical body,
Of the medium.
Or the atmosphere, into the atmosphere of the medium to communicate with one of the living, either to give some information or to express regret. It appears when its breath form is clothed with matter taken from the medium's astral body. But in this 35 lessons of laws of the world, in that, the boys who died in the accident, they communicated with their mother. That is also mediumship, but
that is also mediumship.
Yeah. So it appears when its breath form is clothed with matter taken from the medium's astral body.
Not only that, sometimes we do have people who have been with us physically. They come in our dreams and all. Even those will be examples of the same thing.
Who still have attachment with the dead people.
Yeah,
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, like in dreams analysis, it is known as visitations.
Visitations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirti.
Yes, sir. I wanted to say something about this. So the channeling, that's the reason in Unified we are we have the signal for yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Who we are
Whose signal is
communicating
it and whose it is not?
Yeah, uninvited influence. So
Correct.
yeah, there are both ways. So people who can recognize which one they are channeling, if they have that much sense, like they have achieved that skill, then they can confidently say they are getting from correct source.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another, because nowadays we see here so many people who are psychic and they're ready to channel and tell other,
Everybody wants to teach. Everybody.
Even to the crop circles and all, those also, when we are using people who have done during meditation, that affects much. But people who have done after that, that mixes their emotions, their feelings as well. So we have to be careful of what we are, when we are looking at one light language, light codes and all, we have to be careful.
Not only this, I can influence you through a movie.
Yeah, that could happen too.
See, instead of me directly influencing you, I may come through a movie. So we need to be, when we are talking about unwanted influences, even movies are unwanted influences. We don't have to think only the physical influences.
Negative news, Andy. All this negative news is an
Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
Another class, few in number of doers that may return are doers who, when overtaken by death, know that they have left undone something which they had wished to do. So they have something, some desire not fulfilled.
Some desire which is not yet met.
Not fulfilled. Yeah. Another class are suicides, drunkards, murderers, misers, and those with whom money was almighty. Their dreams bind them closely to the earth. So even misers.
This is another kind of desire. Another kind of desire, basically.
Another class are the doers who have thought little in life and will not have much of an after death state. Who thought little in life, okay, they didn't do much and will not have much of an after death state.
Correct.
All these are doers. That means they didn't do much, they didn't achieve much in their present life when they were on the earth. All these are at least doers. Also, doers that are in a coma or in a dream may be awakened by the strong desires of the living who would hold converse with them. Oh, so a husband would disturb the doer of his wife or a mother that of her child. If they come into contact with a medium, they, because of their strong desires, can through the atmosphere of the medium reach and pull on the departed doer and bring it back to the radiant solid state.
So that means what you call, they could trigger some other action.
See, and in that book, I forgot, she writes about the after death states, and she sees the death when the soul
Dolores Cannon, is it?
Not Dolores Canyon. I forgot her last name is the book name, because the soul says, put the last name as Echo Borden.
Huh? Echo
Borden.
Okay.
She has lot of psychic abilities. So she communicates and she says to the family, let them go, they are ready to leave.
Correct.
She goes.
Yeah.
There, the doer is like one suddenly awakened from a dream, confused, uncertain, and unfamiliar with its surroundings, and so can give little information as to its condition, though it may be able to answer some questions. Such doers are ignorant of their own status and of their future. They do not know any more than they did in life. They do not know as much. The doers of these restless and the worried, who have left something undone and therefore seek the earth, are sometimes allowed to come back to have what they wished to carry out. The great majority, however, are earthbound doers, those of the hard-hearted, inhuman, and friendish, and with them suicides and drunkards. These often seek the earth through the atmospheres of a medium. After a while, they are taken away and so deprived of the means of satisfying their greed, lust, and cruelty. No doer can return after the judgment. So this all happens before the judgment. The desires that were shaken off are nothing more than cloaks of vices, without conscience and without a form, but are venom, just lust and greed. That bad. These are again earthbound, but they are not doers. They are writhing. I don't know what is this. I don't know. Shapeless.
And vibrating.
Monstrous things which seek the earth to fasten.
Shapeless and monstrous things. Okay.
Yeah. So these are all really, they did really bad.
Correct.
Monstrous things seek the earth to fasten on a human and obsess him. They are sometimes called elementaries or soulless beings. They seek the atmosphere of a medium so that
they can.
So that they can fasten on it or on some of other human through it. If they get a human, they lay hold of him at the sex part of the solar plexus like a poultice or a crab and ooze in it, or they jump on the neck like a cat and eat into it and disappear, sinking into the body. Oh my God. This is good. What is called materialization takes place through the preparation of an atmosphere and a channel through which the creatures which manifest pass from the radiant solid to the solid state. So that is how they pass from the radiant solid to solid state, physical body. The atmosphere is made by the audience. The friendlier its attitude, the more complete and easy will be materialization. So in case that physical body where they are entering is friendly, they easily enter. Is that right? These persons think
The
what will come.
atmosphere is made by the audience. That means the recipient.
Yeah. Recipient, if the recipient is friendly, they will enter easily. So these persons think, what will come? I want to see my husband. I want Black Hawk, the control. Will my investment in Blue Sky Petroleum shares pay? Is my lover faithful? Shall I make the voyage to Brazil? Will Bright Eyes tell me if I have a tumor? Who stole the silk from Weaver store?
So many of these kind of thoughts, we can skip that detail and then go into this.
Yeah. Where do we go when we die? Have the spirits any message for me? These thoughts, selfish, inquisitive, emotional, and silly, are so many currents in the room. They revolve around the medium and they may interfere with each other. Sometimes it is asked that a melody be sung. A melody produces a magnetic bath and arranges the current so as to prevent their crossing. Oh, so melodies they prevent the crossing. The thoughts roll around the medium and soon create a world which is drawn into the medium as a center. Then the conditions are ready for a materialization. The atmosphere has been created and the channel is ready. Channel is ready. Like a mob no longer restrained by gates, swarm of spooks and elementals are ready to rush in. But there is a law that too many cannot come at once, else they would destroy the medium. Usually the medium has so-called control, which protects him after a fashion against the onrush. Then their issues usually from the side of the medium, a soft bluish phosphorescent plastic stream, which is matter, withdrawn from the fourfold physical body. And visible because of the radiant matter. This stream gives body to the materializing spook or elemental, then called a spirit. This may have an entire human form or only a head or a hand or other part. One or two or even more forms may be manifested at the same time. Oh my God. Depending upon the vitality furnished by the medium and the audience. Not only human bodies, but fabrics, flowers, musical instruments, bells, tables, or other things may
be manifested.
These bodies and things are hard, are flexible to the touch. They can be examined. What does he mean? All the flower and all those things can be.
You can manifest anything through the mediumship. Like we have got people who are sitting in meditation. They say, I smelt jasmine today in my meditation.
Yeah.
Right. Now, some of it would be positive, pleasant experience, which is good. But if it is not, so all those conditions are there. That's what he's saying. They can come in any form.
Okay. These bodies and things are hard, are flexible to the touch. They can be examined. The spirits may lift someone in the audience or they may be lifted themselves. All these manifestations are made of the material furnished by the medium and reinforced by the effluvia drawn off from the fourfold physical bodies of the sitters through their physical and psychic atmospheres.
Correct.
The manifestations may last for a few seconds or for hours, depending upon the vitality of the medium and audience and upon the harmonious wish to have that particular form remain. Skepticism, ridicule, disbelief, and opposition to the manifestation will interfere with or dissipate it. The manifestations cannot usually be done by daylight any more than a photographic negative can be satisfactorily developed in sunlight. Oh, అందుకే చీకట్లో in the dark. Sunlight and a strong artificial light interfere because such lights are harsh in their action on this finer matter, preventing its expansion and formation. The manifestations are easier and better in the dark or by soft moonlight or low artificial light and in a cloudy or moist air. Such air furnishes a better magnetic condition. A seance is likely a play in which the actors converse with the audience. The medium furnishes the costumes in which the actors appear, and the audience, though unknowingly, decides what characters the spooks shall assume. Sometimes the characters represented are genuine spooks. Then, if anyone in the audience will help them, they can tell about their own past experiences and present condition. And that's what Dolores Cannon was doing, because she is the right person. They can do this only because of the light available through the thinking of the audience. Most frequently, the spooks or elementals masquerade as the person desired by the audience.
That is how they present themselves.
Yeah. Because, frequently thoughts are in the atmospheres of people in the audience of which they themselves are not conscious. So that's what they attract, whatever they are. But the spooks and elementals sense these thoughts and impersonate them. So the ordinary Bills and Janes, the many Napoleons, Shakespeare's, Cleopatra, Queen Mary appear. The spooks have no intelligence. Nor have the elementals. Whatever reasonable information is given is developed from such intelligence as the audience may furnish.
Correct.
In these instances, a disembodied doer may impart information of moral value. It is possible that information of a higher order may be given at certain periods. It is possible, but actually has been so rare as to be negligible. So most of the time, only bad things will happen. Very rarely, the moral,
correct,
good ones come. Rarely.
Everyone taking part.
Everyone taking part in such materializations gives something and gets something. The sitters, be there one or many, give a portion of their finer bodies and vitality, whether they will or not, and they get the entertainment such as it is and the experience, but they get no information except such as may be brought out from the other sitters. No new information is given. The elementals and spooks give amusement and pretend to give whatever the sitters desire and get the sensations afforded them by direct association with human beings. At seances, the admonition is given to believe in spiritualism in order to excite the curiosity of the sitters, to hold their thoughts, and to get them to think of the departed as also living, but in the summer land, another world connected with the earth. The purpose is to raise recruits for mediumship and to open the partition between the physical and form planes and let the ghost of dead men partake of the desires of the living. The medium gives his personality for exploitation by the spooks, and they give to the medium thrills and stimulation. This is at the seance. When the medium is later alone, the body may be simply obsessed, and the elementals and spooks do with it what they want to get sensation.
This is the risk.
At seances, another class of entities may appear. They are nature elementals. There are hosts of them, too numerous to classify, but one category will illustrate. In one of these after-death states, during the purification of the doer, the scenes which were lived through and which are made up of elementals are separated and thrown off by the doer. Other nature elementals seeking sensation and fun will coalesce with these ejected bits of scenery and will appear at a seance to enact them through the finer bodies of the medium. So they do not purify and thrown out Some of them, they will be retained.
So those energies that are thrown off, right, they may come in and impact the medium.
Oh. Bits of, okay. Peanut.
Right.
A danger
So the
that
level of consciousness and the ability to withstand pressures has to be that high for one to play the role of a medium. This is another reason why they say don't do a Reiki kind of healing. Because your energies are getting intermingled.
Correct.
Yeah.
A danger that faces the present race as its possible psychic
I have
destiny.
a question here, Chandrasekhar.
Yes.
So is it only for people who are showing interest to be a medium, or is it these things happen to anybody?
It is basically a manifestation of like attracts like.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that like could be from various perspectives. Suppose you are a master, you are attracting to know how, to what extent you are controlling it. From that level, you are also very fearful of that. That is also a force of attraction. So both will be the entire domain in which these will establish the boundaries.
But in that case, I mean, those two are the extremities. But in between
No, that is the entire boundary, right? When I'm saying
range, that is the range you're saying, one end to the other end.
Yes, yes.
But the thing is, like, if they, as per what they explained, so everybody is being influenced by these things. It's like, varies our own, free will.
What I
It's
said.
like
No, you missed the sentence. I said the level of the consciousness of the person should be at such state that he is able to withstand all this.
That's for the mastery part.
No, not necessarily the master. I may not be interested in knowing anything, but then I should be, my awareness should be at such a state that when something like this comes, I should be able to withstand that.
What if I'm not aware of any of these things?
Which
I'm still being
is always
influenced.
the case. Which is always the case. F1, F2. So, how much you know consciously and how much you do not. So, what is the factor that is discriminating here? It is the level of consciousness. Correct.
But at least like my concern or question is, people who are not aware of it, they're at least, they
are
don't
a
know.
potential
Be
victim.
worried about.
No, they are a potential victim, period. They are a potential victim.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
can
I add a point? I don't know if it's related to this or not. So, I know in PSSM, if I say this, everybody might be mad at me. But so for a person, of course, Patriji said, you know ABCD, you teach ABCD, or you guide meditation, go and teach meditation. But when a person is not completely, I'm using a word, purified, whatever, however you want to understand it, internally, completely awakened, or your energy is not, still you're working on a lot of your own personal issues. How can you go and do guiding meditation others? Does it affect, like when you are doing a guided meditation?
What is
I
your
don't know if this is related to this point. I
No,
was on and off hearing.
It is and it is not both. See, what are you teaching there?
And also your energies will be affected by all other people. So one of the master I heard, you're doing a papam actually. By
No, no,
it
you are
doesn't
not.
affect
You are
their.
not. See, Sureka, what did Patriji say? He said, go teach meditation.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you go give them gyan. You are
That's what
only
we are doing, I
teaching
think,
them
most of the
what is
meditations.
meditation, sit in this posture,
Yes.
okay? Focus on your breath. That is teaching meditation.
Yeah, that we can do, but when you're really in meditation.
So, when you said, you misunderstood what Patriji said.
Sir, I
How
understood.
can I
Okay.
guide and all that? You are not guiding. You are only guiding the practice of it. Focus on your breath. Let the breath, feel the breath growing out. This is all you are trying to teach. Correct?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
beyond that, trying to say this will work like this, that will work like that, that is only faking. If you have not understood it and you are trying to convey that message, then you are faking. You are doing
Faking, yes, yes. Not only that, sir.
But
Yeah, yeah.
if you are only guiding meditation, where are you doing that?
Okay.
And in the process, you are also cleansing yourself. Okay. It is a process. So you will teach them only what you have learned.
Yeah, yeah.
You learn, and while you are learning, you teach them what you have learned.
Right. I understood that point, sir. What I'm trying to say is, like, for example, you might have heard, I'm sure everybody heard this story about Gautam Buddha, right? So when he's like far away, maybe like somewhere in North or New York, or where Kitlan is in New Jersey, and I'm in South in Texas. There he's coming, we can feel energy here. That's how we hear, right? Like a lot of stories about Buddha. Somewhere in
You
4 or
see,
5
that is
villages out,
because of their
because he's an
aura that is
enlightened
that
being.
far.
Exactly.
See, you
Yeah.
need to
So
understand
the guiding
the entire
master don't.
ecosystem. With understanding the ecosystem, you will not be able to get the real thing. That is where F1, F2 comes into picture. Telepathic communication. Right? There are other modes. Unless you understand that, I mean, you are going and teaching and you are professing and all that. When you are going beyond the limits of what you know, then you are faking. The moment you are faking,
you're doing
you are letting other mediums, you are open to other mediums because of your ego.
Right.
So that is how all these things can work.
Yeah. And also, will the guiding master's energy will impact the whole audience who are doing the meditation?
It depends upon the level of consciousness of the people who are attending.
Okay.
If tomorrow someone comes and says thinking and destiny, okay, now, and I am also part of the audience. What they say, to what extent will it impact me? Only to the extent that I accept, right?
Accept, yes, yes. Of course, depends on the audience, what level of their thinking and thoughts are. So sometimes, like, why I'm saying this, because I thought it was related. Sometimes I hear people going in some meditations and coming back not in a happy mood. They are very disturbed, or they're okay.
That means, no, there are, what are the possibilities? Check is what are the possibilities? The environment
emotions are
gone to has sapped their energy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. So they are at a higher state of vibration. That is why even if you are to go in unified over a period of time, you will be asked to question your higher self, whether you should go there or you should not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. In the evolved masters scenario, works as follows, at least with my Guruji. He says, I have put the prashna. I have not yet got an answer. In the prashnam is the request to your higher self. Your higher self has to give you the answer.
Yeah.
Bala ma'am, have you met with any guru who says, I have put the prashnam, I am waiting for the answer? Oh,
No.
that is how they talk to their higher self. I've just realized because of Sureka's question, right?
Mm.
They, sir, I want you to come and do yagam in my house.
Oh,
Mm.
they will say, okay. But normally they say, okay, I will let you know
No.
later.
They will say, I will let you know. But in the
Yeah.
background, they have to raise a prashnam to their guru. Their guru
So
is
they,
their higher self also.
yes.
So they go in the meditation and they ask,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
yeah, I mean, I think pretty much most of us also getting into that state, I think, right? Immediately we don't jump into things. Most of them say,
Now, it all depends on your level of consciousness. If you are able
mm,
to see the greater good, it is aligned to love and compassion. It is aligned to, right? If someone asks me for a book club, I will never say no,
yeah,
right? If anyone says, sir, please come and talk, I will say, I need to check my time, but I will not say no.
mm. Maybe in
And,
that also,
and if
sir.
it is not to happen, I
Mm,
trust my higher self will guide me. It will create a scenario that I will never be able to materialize it. If it is not the right environment for me, my higher self will avoid,
mm,
right? Which is
mm,
what in Shirdi Baba's Charitra
mm,
and the way you are supposed to relate, whether it is Mohanji speaking or whether it is some other master speaking who is the disciple, right?
mhm,
Their thinking, their outlook, even in that Rusbeh Barucha's books, the Fakir and these sequences, he says if something has come to me, it means it has come through the approval of my Guru.
mm.
It has not come to me without that. It has come after my Guru has approved it.
So are you saying, like, say, when in our 10 tablet series, we say, like, the opportunity, we should never, reject the opportunity, means that opportunity already being approved by the Guru?
I mean, that is the question you will ask in your meditation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have to.
Right? You will ask in your meditation, saying that I am getting this offer. Don't you think tomorrow I call you and say I have a job offer for you? Will you say yes immediately?
No.
Right? You will think about it. What are you doing? You are meditating on it when you are thinking. You don't realize that you are meditating, but actually you are meditating on it. Are you getting it, Sureka and Ratna ma'am?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? So that is another way the same theme is manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That may be at a lower level of consciousness.
Yeah.
More
See,
materialistic than spiritual.
if you vibrate at lower frequency, then it is easy for them to attack.
Correct.
That's yeah. Okay, a danger that faces the present race as it's possible psychic destiny is that, like many old races, it may adopt a new form of ancestor worship, which is a worship either of the shades, that is, the astral bodies, or of the desire bodies of the disembodied doers. In the growth of human races, there is a tendency to leave the normal path of progression, a normal path of progress, and to branch off towards the worship of ghosts of the dead. So people, they worship some of the dead people. That's what he's talking about. Such worship has always been disastrous to a race. Not only would it stop civilization, as it did with those who worship the spirits of ancestors in China and parts of India, but it would shut off the light of knowledge. This condition, however impossible it may seem, might be brought about by the increase of what is called communication with the dead. So that's what he is saying. See, we are holding that soul unnecessarily in having
Exactly. See,
yeah.
I want to
How
add something
different?
today.
No. How different is this from Patriji saying, after your child is 14 years, he is here for his karma,
He is
not
independent of
interfere,
his.
trying to find a shortcut. Why are you doing this? You want a shortcut. Predominantly, you are desiring a shortcut. So you are trying to take other means which will try to help you reach faster. Correct. But this is not so. Think about that. Such worship has always been disastrous to a race.
See, one thing I will tell you, still some people, they have, like a love and affection, it is different. But holding on to that picture and putting garland and putting the worship, doing, they put in the same as the puja room and, worshipping, but they are holding,
They are
one who is,
forgetting the true qualities of what they are holding.
yeah, correct.
Because if they are the right kind, they would only throw open qualities of God. If
Yes.
not aligned to qualities of God, then it is unwanted influence.
Correct.
That is what we are learning in Unified. Live by what you are learning. If it is not aligned, it is not a creation of God. It is your creation. Find out what is the desire that is raising that creation. Is it right? Yes. That's where, somewhere, I don't know whether in the mental destiny or something, he gives a wonderful example of someone procuring a property by unrighteous means. How it impacts his kidneys and that entire supply chain.
Yes, he's following the
That entire
kids.
circulatory force that is acting on him, which is
They
disaster.
also
Gives a beautiful example.
Correct. And not only that, see, you're holding the dead soul unnecessarily. It is like going on weeping and
No, this
having
is
that
what you are doing actually. This is exactly what you are doing in that. This is exactly what you are doing. You are impacting the karmic influence.
Correct. Of the departed soul.
I would say one is departed soul, the other one is yourself. Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such worship has always been disastrous to race. Not only would it stop civilization, as it did with those who worship the spirits of ancestors in China and parts of India, but it would shut out the light of knowledge for the person. This condition, however impossible it may seem, might be brought about by the increase of what is called communication with the dead.
Or
The dear departed. Fortunately, the great majority are against the ghastly and ghoulish practices at materialization seances.
But like in Indian like in Hindu system, like we have all these yearly we call them tadinam in Telugu, right? We do that process, yearly process to the departed. So then that is not appropriate.
you are doing it with involvement, or are you doing it ritualistically?
Even if we are doing ritualistically, like we think about it at the time, right? About the departed, okay, we used to have memories or whatever come along.
Correct. But then, have you driven it to a state of madness? This is what this note means. Have you driven it to a state of madness? That this is a danger. You do it to be out of love and affection is different. If you do it for a specific ill-fated intent, then what happens? You will encounter disasters.
I mean, of course, that is definite.
That is exactly the point he is saying.
No. See, all this in India, the customs they do, the 12 days and the 1 year is to free the soul, isn't it? To free the departed soul from the earth.
Yeah, but then we do the yearly also, right? In a Sankranti time,
After
we do
that, you do it out of love and affection.
Oh, that I don't know. Some people they do, but I don't know
Those
much
who
about it.
don't do, see, what has happened is there are so many ways to interpret it, unfortunately. In the olden days, it was done like the Thanksgiving that you have. Thanksgiving also is once a year.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you do it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Whereas here you are doing it for 1 day, once a year. Now, the same thing has translated into Thanksgiving. Earlier in the olden days, wherever the brothers were, all the family members, the siblings, all would meet at a particular place and participate in this event.
That's only one day. But Thanksgiving is 1 day event.
Correct. But then you got totally 3 days. You call it Boxers Day, you call it so many other days, right?
No. Thanksgiving is only 1 day.
Okay, well, 1 day. So here also the spirit of it is supposed to be all siblings meet, all family members meet at an occasion, right? And you are doing an act of charity, both. Because you are giving food to some of the participants who are not family, but they belong to those who are performing that ritual for you. You are doing it with that intent.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
See,
you're saying that practice is okay as long as
it is being done with love and it is in memory, it is in gratitude, etc. There. You are offering gratitude to the departed soul.
Yeah.
And also in the first 1 year is to free the soul, whatever either first 12 days or 1 year, completely to
It
free
is
the
like
soul from
distant
earth.
healing. See, I would call it distant healing. For the soul that has left the body, you are doing distant healing to empower it in its journey. That is the way I look at that. I interpret those events.
Distantly, what is that?
Distant healing.
Oh, distant healing. Okay.
Right. So you are giving your energies, just like when I said I am not well, I received not less than 100 messages saying we pass our love energies to you, heal faster. Correct. That incident is with that purpose. But then if people are misusing it, and not only are they doing it to their family members, they have taken it as a activity of their, they found some advantage in it, so they are invoking all the dead, etc., etc. Basically, this is what will be the end result. You become a medium. Right? Got it?
Yeah.
Want to continue to the next one, or we'll stop here? I think we'll stop.
I think let us stop it. It's already
I want to say something regarding this, I'm saying.